Okay, here's David and Susan again. We got a cleanup and tree trimming project today. This is about a 30-year-old, maybe a little older than that, white pine one of our friends planted, and we just had an ice storm recently, and an ice plus wind took that tree over. So we worked on this the other day and got it work up as far as I could go until we ran into so we were getting too jammed up. As we got jammed up here, we quit so that our friends could swamp out all the trash. And we're going to finish this up today. But it's really interesting what we've got. They had two white pines, and this one that's still standing had a fork in it. And when their tree fell over, it grabbed that fork and ripped it off. We've got a big tear up there in the tree. And white pine rots pretty fast. So in 4 or 5 years, that's going to be severely compromised. And just a short distance away from here is the power line coming to their house. So this tree is going to have to come down. It leans toward the power line. And one of the rules Susan and I use is if a tree is situated so that it has a good chance of falling, or has a chance of falling on an improvement like a house, a garage, power line, we don't cut it. If it could go there, we're going to assume it'll go there and cause a huge expense or kill somebody. So they're going to call the electric co-op to see about getting this one down. And on an injury like that, you might as well take it down, because that is going to rot. I've seen the result of leaving these, and they will take down a power line. I saw one a few years back take down a transmission line up between Keens and Orchardville. And yeah, it was a shame. It was a pretty tree, but it had a big tear in it, and it rotted. And then a windstorm took it right down and caused a blackout in a pretty large area of Wayne County, Illinois. So anyway, I'm going to use the big saw here. That's pretty good stuff here. We got to bust these up where they can move these pieces. And then we've also, from that ice storm, we've also got broken limbs. We're going to go ahead and knock some of these down too, just for safety purposes. You can see there's a limb up here. It has a 4-foot long break in it where the ice weighted it down. So we're going to do that with the pole saw. So that the little pole saw gets worked harder than it's designed, but it does pretty good. So anyway, we're going to bust this stuff up, get the pole saw, take down some of the broken stuff, and then they're going to see if they can get Wayne White Electric Co-op in here to get their tree down so nobody gets electrocuted. Okay, I'm going to grab the saw and fire up, Susan. If you plant trees, you want to get in your mind right away at some point that tree is going to be gone. You might have to cut it down yourself. And I think if you look at this was probably a potted tree. This is a circling root. We could get into a discussion on that. When you plant a potted tree, you want to make sure you don't have roots circling. And that is probably one reason this tree went over right there, a circling root. When you pop that tree out of the pot, you take a sharp knife or a set of trimmers and you cut off all the roots that are circling inside that flower pot. And if you don't, this is what you get. And then 30 years later, the tree falls over. So, okay, I'm going to get to work, Susan. pieces that our friends can handle. Got the slash all stacked up away from here. Anyway, pile of stuff on the ground here, and you can look at the tree. We took off a bunch of branches to make the job a little easier for the electric co-op people, and you probably get around there and get a really good shot of that hole that fork made. Yeah, see that when that fork came off, it made a real hole. Of course, that's got a rain catcher in it too, so that will cause rot pretty quickly in there. So they've already talked to the tree trimmer super at co-op. He's going to come by and take a look at it. And my gosh, look at the size of that tree. That's what is that, 26, 28 inches diameter, Susan? Pretty big. Big tree. Okay, thank you all very much for visiting. Appreciate every view and every comment. Catch you all later.